I am not smart enough to know I am old. That did not go the way I wanted it to. Oh, it has a quality mandate. What's up, people? It is actually Sunday morning, which is absurd for me because I kind of like to be in bed. But I am at Fremont Raceway Park and I'm ready to race karts on my new TopKart LO206 chassis. Now that's interesting because this is the actual track that a long time ago I first started racing at, and that's why I'm back. I love karts this much. It is this good of motorsports because one, it's affordable and it's better racing than any of the car crap you're gonna race. But the problem with today I've realized is I am old. And you wanna know how I know I'm old? Because I look over there, you see that kid? When I was last pitted right there, adjusting the clutch on my Yamaha KT100 kart, that kid didn't exist, and now he's racing, which means I'm old. But fortunately, I am not smart enough to know I am old, and I am ready to race these people, which means I should probably get my things out of the truck. So engage time lapse. All right, you guys, everything is out and I just registered and paid for it. So I can see at 10:30, it's time for me to practice with the adults on the LO206. So I got 45 minutes. So what I'm gonna do, get this thing on the ground, wheel it over to that little building over there because there's a scale. And I've already scaled this, so I believe I'll be over the minimum weight requirement. However, my scales are not that scale. And I would like to make sure that when I come off the track, I'm at least legal so I can have a fun day. Now, the other thing I'm noticing about the competition are there's some young guys like that who probably heals a lot faster than me. He's full of stem cells. So the best idea today for the future for me being old now is to just win. I shouldn't have said that, they're gonna kill me. Okay, let's go weigh the cart. Okay guys, so we found out on the scale, it came in with me on the scale and my helmet at 361 pounds, which means it's 4 pounds underweight. As a note, my fuel tank is currently at half full, so I could fill it up all the way and it might make it the rest of the way, but then when I go out on the track, it'll end up underweight. So I'm glad I brought some weight. Come on over here and look at this. I weighed beforehand and I thought I'd be over, and even if I am legal on my scales, I'm not legal on this scale. So I brought 5 more pounds right there, which will put me a pound over. So that's really close to the minimum, and that's where you want to be. And unfortunately, I also have the hardware kit I need specifically to put the weights on. So we did this in the last video where, like an idiot, I was chugging rich energy drinks. That was a gamble. So I also am smart enough, I brought a drill and it's charged. Oh my God, I learned something. Yes, and drill bits. So I probably should get to work. Okay. So anyway, this is very exciting. This is not very exciting. I'm just putting this piece of lead on my beautiful go-kart. I have to tell you guys, coming from like race cars, it absolutely drives me bonkers to have to add lead weight to a perfectly beautiful racing machine. It feels like such sacrilege. So it's gonna go on the seat. I'm kind of running out of space on the left over here. So I did already drill a hole right here, so I may just stick it there. I think I may just go ahead and do that. I already got the bolt ready. So I think for today, I'm not gonna freak out about redoing it and drilling a bunch of holes to get like a 1 pound of weight distribution different. I'm just gonna get it on nicely. Cool, so we got a half hour to practice. That'll be fun. All right, so this will be easy. Look at that. So it's got that big, beautiful aluminum washer to spread the weight out over the seat, and the seat's flexible. And this seat acts as suspension effectively for the frame, so everything can flex and work right. You know, you could of course put weight on your frame, but if you put it on the frame, it's different in terms of the flexing and such. So, pan out. The other thing about all this is there is some value to having, like, you want to have a low center of gravity, but you also don't want to have a low center of gravity, because the nature of how you make karts works has everything to do with the way weight distributions and the chassis flexes and you move. So for now, I'm keeping the weight on the seat because this is acting like the suspension. So if all the weight is here and that can flex and move, then that allows the chassis to flex and move over the undulations and bumps and stuff. The other thing about it is too, oftentimes people put chassis protectors on the bottom of their kart so that it'll rub and they won't be rubbing their chassis, which is great. It keeps their chassis for longer, but every time your skid plates rub, you're, for that moment, taking away weight from your tires. So your handling's not ideal. So we're going for speed today. We're going for doing it right. As long as I was smart enough to bring tools. Did Casey bring tools? I usually am smart enough to bring tools, but the problem is I've been loaning my tools out to young people for the last 8 years, and they're kind of haggard. Actually, these are brand new Allen wrenches. I finally bought new Allen wrenches, except this one's broken. Nobody feels sorry for me. That's okay. All right, so guys, I'm gonna go ahead and do this, and then we're gonna go out and practice and see what I got here. In testing, I ran a 23 seconds 0.6 consistently, which was good for midfield in the Buckeye Karting Championships. I guess that's okay for just bringing it fresh out of the box, so to speak, but not good enough. So I've made a few changes already on the suggestion of TopKart. Another thing I want to point out, so when I raced back in the day and just got whatever chassis, like a used chassis and such, you had to figure out all the chassis setup on your own. So it was difficult and daunting. But one of the beautiful things is, so this is a TopKart chassis from TopKart USA. You can get them out of Indianapolis, and they have an amazing website. I'm serious. Even if you're not into karting yet, or even if you're looking at whatever, go to TopKart's website, because they have an entire chassis setup guide for their karts. Now, that chassis setup guide, well, it's going to have some good information for anybody, but it's specifically for the TopKart. So the amazing thing was last night, when I'm all thinking about what do I got to do to set this thing up to race tomorrow to be decent, I just go on the website and just read all the stuff and get good ideas, and then that helps me get a good plan for, get on there, come on, get on there, yes. Gives me a good plan for what I got to do today, and hopefully give myself some more speed. But I just think that's super cool, and honestly, one reason why I'm just really proud to have a brand new kart like this. I think it's worth it in the end, or I guess we'll see how the race goes. All right, guys, see you in practice. Got it? Kart racing is the most affordable form of motorsports there is, and it's also the most competitive. So for that reason, you've got to have an amazing chassis. And for me, it's TopKart. When I'm at a race, I simply go to TopKartUSA.com, check out their chassis setup and tuning guide, and that's the secret that gets me on the podium. So when it's time for you to go racing, call up TopKart USA. All right, you guys, so that was 2 practice outings. The first one, right out of the box, track is less grippy because it rained and stuff, so it's kind of all over the place, but it's good kart. And I'm like, oh, I gotta make this thing faster because I'm slower than I was in practice, probably due to the track conditions being morning. So second time out, made some friends with some cool guys out here, and I decided to loosen up the front with the cage, let the front work a little more. It was really, really tight and bound up, and I also took off the torsion tube. With the LO206 and being a lower horsepower, you want the chassis to be able to work. So right now, I just want to get a little more bite. I like to get more bite on the rear end, but otherwise I like how the chassis dynamics are working. So those were our 2 practice outings. The kart's not bad, but it's not blistering fast yet, so I gotta work on it. Now there's 2 cool things that have to happen. Well, actually just one. The first thing that's not really that cool is, so I was using my mallet to tap off the, what do you call them? The like collars, the clamping collars that hold the tube on. And so I skinned my pinky finger. And so it's bleeding all over the place. And so I just put on my gloves and went on the track, except then when with your gloves are on and they're moving around, that just makes it bleed more. And then with your heart pumping, so I'm bleeding all over my go-kart. Great, right? But fortunately, I'm a master in the art of crafting a Mand-Aid. Oh, I'm doing a bad job. Wait, Mand-Aid, get on there. Yes. Okay. And nobody's gonna help me with this. Where's my wife? She would help me. Okay. Yes. Oh, that is a quality Mand-Aid. Yeah, okay. All right, so also I have no numbers on my kart, and this is old school here. We're not using transponders today, and there's not so many people in the field, so it's not that important. So today, because apparently I couldn't make a decision, I am Racer X, legit. So I need to put an X on this. Maybe it's an inside joke, and that means I'm terrible. It's like a rookie stripe. Like, this guy is so terrible, he has to run an X. Watch out for him. He's bleeding everywhere and he sucks. Okay, here we go. But that was a fun second outing. I just decided to run a little harder. When we first went out, the 2 people that were kind of up front running really well, I was slowly edging up on. So that made me feel better about just, you know, where we're going. We're making the kart faster, getting better and all that. And then the one dude who's really fast, he runs the series around here, came up from behind, and I could see where he was getting a much better roll on me down the straightaway. So I think my kart's just, I'm not sticking well enough getting through those slower transitions to the back straightaway, and it's costing me, you know, maybe a mile an hour or half a mile an hour, you know, and then down that straightaway and through the flat out corner, that attributes to a lot of distance. So got to get that figured out, and I think if I get that figured out, I'll probably be faster everywhere else, frankly. So we'll see what happens, but regardless of how the day goes, I'm having a wonderful day. It is beautiful out. There's nice people making new friends, running karts, and yeah, this TopKart's awesome. I'm just really happy to have it. You know, it makes me feel good because this is where I raced way back when, you know, when I was broke. Still mostly broke, but so it's just a really good day out here in the Midwest, Fremont Raceway Park, running karts. So I think racing's coming up pretty soon. See you guys out there. Hey, prima donnas. You want to start it, Gene? You don't have to do it yet. When you pull it like that way. All right, you guys, so that was the first qualifying heat. Started outside of the first row, and they've got a rule here where like you're not supposed to go until like a first cone, and the first place guy has to be leading in the first turn, which is different than I'm accustomed to. So we went with that to make sure he had a little bit. And then the trouble is with that, then the guy on the second row gets the freight train through. And that's cool. So I thought it was a really good battle, a lot of fun. I hope you guys enjoyed watching it. Obviously, I got a little tire damage now. But hey, if they get through the hairpin quicker, that wouldn't happen to my nice kart, which means I really got to go faster. But for the second heat, the qualifying heat, what they do is they invert the field. So instead of starting second, I'll start second to last. All right, you guys, so second heat, I made a couple changes. Let's see if they were smart or stupid.
That's way too tight through there, isn't it?
What?
That's way too tight through there, isn't it?
Yeah. Okay, you guys, so that did not go the way I wanted it to. So the trouble with Fremont Raceway Park is it's very small. This track's been here since like the early 60s. And LO206 class is lower horsepower. So people can make smaller mistakes and get away with it, which is annoying if you're right here because you can't get around as easily. So when I got some to get up beside the guy, I'm just like, you know what? Screw it. I'm gonna hold on this and whatever. We can get through here too wide. And that guy didn't want to let me through there too wide. And like you do in an open wheel car, I went up in the air and went round and round and backwards, which means I'm going to lose that qualifying heat to my chagrin. But I got back on the track and the TopKart was amazing. It did not get hurt or bent, which is awesome. And I just went flat out. Because who knows, maybe somebody else will screw up and I can pass them, but that seems to never happen for me. So I did not do well on that one. However, I am at least starting third. It's a real small field. So I'll be starting inside second row. So hopefully for the actual race, I can freight train up with the leader and be in second clear by the time we get to the straightaway. Hold that, because if I can do that for a lap, maybe I'll have a shot. So we'll see how well I've been at getting the TopKart dialed in. So we're gonna need some skills, some daring, some luck, and I don't know, hopefully good, clean racing. See what it'll be.
of the most fun I've had in this kart so far, man.
I'm glad you were there, man. That was awesome.
That was fun.
You got on, I'm like, oh shit, okay, well we're gonna, it was cool because those are like classic moves we gotta do.
Right,
you know?
exactly. Yeah, because it's so hard to pass here, you gotta do it.
Well, sweet, it's like, dude, I'm here. I'm not gonna give you a lot of space, so like, you know what I mean? But like, it was fun, you know?
Oh yeah, for sure, man. Yeah, that was a blast.
Cool.
Thanks for coming today, man.
Yeah, totally. I'll be out more.
I'm bleeding. God. Oh, it will be in the video. Guys, I'm back. So the race is over. Let's walk around, have a little fun. It was a really good race. I'd like to finish better, but I found out. So today was all about testing and tuning the whole way. I had the car out once last Wednesday and got the time to shake it down. Nothing fell off. It was a really good kart, really good chassis, and it was decent. So today was my first time out with that chassis and frankly racing in an environment with people in a long time with karts. So I was setting it up along the way, did a lot of changes, took some bars off, loosened some things up to make it, tire pressure adjustments, stiffness, everything the whole way. And of course had to add some lead to it so that I was over the minimum. So with the fuel about there, I'm over by about 2 pounds. So got a little safety margin there, that's pretty nice. So it was good. The only place I found that my kart was maybe a little off, I'm finding that it's a little slow on the clutch engagement. So on the starts, as well as coming out of the hole, even if I've got a better line than somebody, I'm carrying more momentum, when they start coming into where their clutch is engaging and grabbing, they're getting away from me a little bit. So we're talking like fractions. So for instance, in the race, if you guys saw that, I was in the 3rd position on the inside, and when he went, he already had a number of feet on me. We're talking like, I don't know, a 1/4 mile an hour, but by the time you got down there, it made it really hard for me to stay in 3rd place. So I think by changing that, it's gonna be really good, but otherwise the kart worked really well. And the 2 dudes that beat me today, the one gentleman is quite fast in the Buckeye Karting Championship, Dylan. Also really fun making some new friends, you know, good guys. So I'm looking forward to getting out more. I hope you guys get interested to come out, the Briggs LO206 class. But anyway, had a really great time, and I think it's something good for anybody. For me, it's driving cars for quite some time, or somebody just starting out. So I hope you guys get into it. Obviously, TopKart chassis, awesome. I love it. It came around that quickly for me, and like I said to you guys before, I can literally just go, boom, on my cell phone. I can straight bring up TopKartUSA and go right to a chassis setup guide, just right from my phone. So that's a really amazing resource to have. But I hope you guys enjoyed the day with me. I'm gonna come back and hopefully we finish even stronger. See you next time. Huge shout out to KW Suspension. Guys, this year you're gonna see beautiful coilovers such as this going on many of my cars, including my Porsche 944, my Dodge Viper, and even some of these crazy race cars. And the reason is simple. This is one of the best shock companies in the world. It was founded in Germany in 1992 by Klaus Wohlfarth, and recently they just launched a new 1.2 million square foot robotic warehouse where they're creating unbelievably nice suspension components such as this for 15 different original equipment manufacturers. So whether you're a street enthusiast, a weekend track warrior, or you are building the Le Mans car of your dreams, guys, check out KW Suspension. Unbelievably nice shocks. So go down in the description below, patronize them. You're gonna be glad you did.